How you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal, and today we're going to talk about a black box game. Anyone who knows me as a gamer, has followed this website for any considerable amount of time, you know that I'm not a completionist in any way, shape, or form, except for getting my hands on somehow, some way. I have a burning desire to get my hands on the first 30 releases from Nintendo for the NES. The black box games. They're called that because they were sold in black boxes with the little game artwork on the front and all that. While a lot of these games have not stood the test of time, i.e. the Zapper games that you can't really play on a modern television. Some of them, like Kung Fu, 10-Yard Fight, they were gateways to what the NES was doing at the very beginning of the console's history. And today is interesting because it's the first of only 4 volleyball games released on the NES. It was released here in the States in 1987. And you can see that they wanted this to be great. But, nah, it wasn't. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It wasn't. Today, we're going to take a look at volleyball. Now, volleyball, you play as one of like a handful of national teams. The US, Japan, China, South Korea, Brazil, the Soviet Union, Cuba, and Tunisia. They always pick a really random African team to put in there. Like, Nintendo World Cup had Cameroon, and this game has Tunisia. It's always really random, but that's besides the point. One of the cool things about this game is that you can play a match with men's or women's teams. It follows indoor volleyball rules, so there are 6 players on each side. 3 at the net, 3 at the back. And it's standard rules. By and large, if you aren't the serving team, you have to score twice in order to start registering points. And yeah, if you're the serving team and you score, then you score. That's all it is to it. And yeah, it's by proxy, the rules are handled okay. It's the actual execution of the game that's kind of wonky, right? First of all, let's talk about some of this animation. The characters are just on the field humping air. It's real unsettling if you really look at it. Like, if they're standing idly, just pelvic thrusts all the time. Kind of remind you of Duffman if you're a Simpsons fan. Yeah. Now, the ball physics is interesting as well, because you got to kind of follow that shadow, and you're controlling groups of players at a time, and then while the ball's in the air, the game dictates which one of your players can go to the ball, so it can kind of throw you off a little bit. It definitely threw me off. I wanted to own this game, and I wanted to have a copy in my possession, and I have a copy, and it's cool to pick it up every now and then to revisit it, but it's little things like that that just kind of sour the experience for me. Also, why couldn't the in-game setup work the same way that practice does? In practice mode, you can always tell which character you're controlling. The game like shows you the sprite and all that. This doesn't, and what the hell? Why? It don't make sense. I'll say that there are 3 other volleyball games on the NES. Kings of the Beach, which we've discussed. Super Spike V-Ball, which I talked about years ago. And Venice Beach Volleyball, which I'll probably end up talking about since I'm talking about all the volleyball games. And for my money, this one is sadly the weakest. Now, if you want a copy of this, because it's a black box game and it's likely got 5 screws in the back and all that, this game can the pricing can kind of be crazy on it. Some people might want to jack it up past $20-$25. Honestly, about $15 feels like a fair price to me. $15-$16. It feels like a good average. So yeah, if you want a copy of Volleyball, you can get a copy of Volleyball for under $20 by and large. I wouldn't pay more than that, even though it's a black box game. And if you're like me and you're trying to get a full set of black box games, this one might be, grab it if you come across it, but I would focus my energy on stuff like Donkey Kong or DK Jr. Mad, stuff that's more pricey that you kind of got to throw some money at to get before you get Volleyball. Just saying. This has been the 8-Bit Animal, and I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow. Tomorrow. Yeah, I know we unboxed this a while ago, right? And I told y'all we were going to get back to it, but the time has come. And yeah, it's more proof that Natsume didn't miss.